Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people, today? Oh, yeah, we're coming with another wonderful episode of movie reviews. We're going live today, so it's a little bit different than your regular show because we're talking about, of course, Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. We are finally here. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. First reactions, I'm just going to get this out of the way. This is spoiler free. I'm not going to be spoiling anything. I'm going to give you just like the general feel of the film. Nothing, I'm not giving nothing away, so you don't have to worry about that. If you are scared, you can go in and stay with your brother because you ain't got to worry about that. So, main reactions. The first reaction is Marvel's strutting its stuff. Marvel's putting it on the table. Marvel is peacocking right now, all right? Because Marvel is on a gravy train. Like, it is rolling and it ain't stopping. I am extremely impressed with that from Thor to Black Panther to now, like the last three, because usually they look at your last three joints. Like, if your last three joints been hot. Now, before then, they had hot joints, but this right here, yo, what up, Sonny? How's it going? Nice to see you in the spot. Max, what up, what up? Yes, I saw the movie. We're about to talk about it now, but no spoilers, so you ain't got to worry about that. You can stay right here, because I'm going to just give you all the basic stuff, how I felt. Now, back to the reactions. Marvel's killing it, yo. Marvel is straight crushing. Just, they're on another level. Right now, they're in a zone. If you're a runner, or if you used to run like track, they're on like a runner's high. They're just, man, they are crushing. Ha, Sonny's still not better than Black Panther. Yo, you know what? Okay, I can't, look, this is spoiler free. This movie, like, Marvel is just going, they've really got a handle on what they are. I think that's the most important part. They know who they are as a studio. They know what they're doing, and they know why they're doing it. You know, they're connecting their own dots. They're playing by their own rules. Of course, they got the budget from heaven, which is Disney, but they know exactly what they're doing, and this movie shows. This movie shows in spades that they know what they're doing from comedy. They know what they're doing from drama. They know what they're doing from like horror, action. They know all of it, and they have the right way to balance it out. So that's my basic general reaction. Everybody's amazing in this. So now I want to get into some of the more finer details of what makes this movie so great. And of course, it's still spoiler free. I'm not spoiling anything, but what really makes this movie are the Russo brothers, man. I'm gonna go back a little bit when the Russo brothers did Winter Soldier. I remember hearing their names and being like, I don't know if that's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know if it's really going to hit the right points. And they crushed it. Then they had another at-bat. They crushed that one. With this film, they are showing that they know how to handle teams extremely well. One thing that this movie does is it gives everybody a moment to shine. The direction makes sure that everybody has a moment, and not just a brief moment. Everybody has some room to breathe in their scenes. Everybody has a moment to really reflect on the world and the universe around them, and what's going on to the team, what's going on to the world, and everybody gets to play that moment, and it's directed right, it's paced just right, that everybody gets that, and you don't feel like this is someone's movie over another person's movie. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the feeling like this is too much a Hulk movie, or this is too much a whoever movie, or a Thor movie, or this is too much a Guardians movie. Everybody gets a good amount of screen time, and they are able to kind of interact with each other on a fair kind of screen time level. And you just got to praise the writing and the direction for that, man. Another kudos to the direction is the cinematography. The way a lot of these shots go and the way a lot of these shots move, they fill the screen, but without making it feel cluttered. And what I say with that, because a lot of times with, comic book, action, sci-fi kind of stuff, a lot of times we can throw a lot of visual stuff at you and it can be overwhelming where you're trying to catch every single thing. In this, they give you your kind of area to focus on, but they don't just leave the rest of the screen empty. They allow your eyes to explore without without wandering. So I think that's dope. Another part with the direction / writing is the pacing. This movie does not feel long. Like we are moving at a honest pace the whole time. Let's see. What's up? What's up, Story Geeks? Nice to see y'all. Nice to see y'all roll through. Jay and Daryl and everybody. Take my money, Marvel. Yeah. They're gonna take a lot of money this weekend. They're gonna take, and the funny thing, Black Panther is still in the theaters. So it's like you're looking at a situation where they're still getting, money from Black Panther as well as the film they're about to drop now. They are not playing. But the pacing, you're in a film that, of course we've all seen the runtime, but it doesn't feel long. It never feels long. And even at the end of the film, I just rewatched Age of Ultron. Yeah, you know what? Ultron doesn't, on a second watch, Ultron doesn't really crush me like that. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were mad about it, but Ultron doesn't really hurt my feelings like that no more. There's parts about it where I'm like, but as a movie as a whole, that's a lot to get done, and I'm actually pleased that we have it. It's better than some other superhero fare we've had. But back to this one, Infinity War, you're just moving. And not only are you moving, but you're moving and learning. You're learning on the go. And there's never a moment where you're lost. There's never a moment where, hey, this was too fast. We need some more of that. Or there's never a moment where you're like, okay, this scene is going on way too long. So that pacing is right. So that's the direction stuff. The direction is on point. I really enjoy the direction, and the Russo brothers, they just know the Marvel universe, man. They just really know it. And dag, I'm literally ready to just be like, yo, just let the Russo brothers do what they want because they're killing it. But on to the writing, and I forgot to pull the writer's name, but I'm pretty sure the Russos probably, if they didn't write and direct this, they probably did some of the writing as well. But the dialogue in here, every conversation matters. And I like that because there are films, and I'm sure we've all seen films where there might be a scene where you're like, well, that conversation didn't mean anything, or that led to nowhere. Why are we even talking about everything? Every conversation means something about either the person's kind of relationship or the future of what's going to happen to kind of like their surrounding interpersonal relationships. So I like that it's still got its wit in it, and it's still got the comedy. So if you're not big on, of course, the Marvel comedy, this is no different. Marvel's formula. So the Marvel comedy is still there, but I think it's placed in a way where they've gotten a groove with their films lately, especially with Thor, Black Panther, and this one. I feel like they've gotten in more of a groove where their comedy is becoming more conversational, and it's kind of like, it's not the boom moments. It's just like they let the joke come, but they're not like, wait for it, here's the joke. They don't hit you with that. They write it in a way where the reactions and the statements and stuff seem more natural to that character or those characters. They seem more like what a normal person would say, which is something that I like, because in earlier Marvel films, yes, some of the comedy was grating, but I think they're getting a lot better at it, man. I really do think that they're showing that they've got some comedy chops. When it comes to timing, when it comes to conversations, whether you're the straight man or you're the funny guy or the silly person, I think they're really working out a very solid tone of keeping the comedy going without losing too much drama, which I'm going to touch on now. The drama in this, yeah, there's some drama in here. There's a lot of moments where you're like, hey, so are we in a Marvel movie? Because it just got heavy. Um, see, one thing I realized about Age of Ultron, I just didn't love Josh Whedon. Oh, okay, yeah. Josh Whedon is, j- not to take anything away from Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon is definitely dope. But I do feel that Josh Whedon, due to his older work, has been kind of placed on a pedestal, in a position where I don't think he's maintained it. Like, you know how people might love a musician because they got some hits way back, but they're not really crushing it anymore. I feel that way about Joss Whedon, and maybe he just needs that comeback. He needs chill for a minute, come back, do a small film that crushes, maybe a TV show that crushes, and then he comes back. But yeah, I will say Joss Whedon, to a certain degree, does feel like he's kind of lost a step. But then we did get a peek into the kind of back and forth between Disney and him on how to direct that film, how to write that film, and how they weren't agreeing. So that might have led to Ultron not being as great as it could have been. And I'm not always in favor of the artist, but we did see the first Avengers and we saw how that panned out. And it seemed from the I guess you say the reviews, or not the reviews, the interviews, that he had a little more say in the first one than he did in the second one. And maybe that's where you saw kind of his frustration, and maybe he was just like, it's not fun anymore. That could be one of the situations that kind of led to how it went down. But back to the Russo brothers, amazing job. If they did the writing, I can't remember because I forgot to pick up the writer. If the Russos did it, just go on in, let me know in the chat or in the comments below. But the writer, definitely tight dialogue, and I love the way scenes are set up, and how they're connected through that writing. So direction is on point, the writing is on point. Now I'm an action man. So I gotta let y'all know, are the fights on point? Okay, first I'll say, how Marvel does with the fight scenes. There are cuts, quick cuts, and you'd be like, I don't know what I saw. But the fight scenes are intense. They don't hold back on a lot of fight scenes. Okay, so Stephen McFeely, Christopher Marcus, thank you, Max, thank you. So the writing on that was the dialogue. I really enjoyed it. And everybody seemed natural. They seemed normal. They seemed like the characters, but they didn't seem like caricatures, if that helps. But back to the action, they don't let up. Like there's some intense fight scenes, and they do some unique things. They do some very, very unique things that it'll blow your mind, the action stuff they do. And whether they're solo fights or whether they're kind of team fights, everything works well, man. You're just impressed on a technical level from the choreography. You're just impressed. Like, man, wow, I can't believe, wow, they did that. Oh no, there's no bathroom breaks in this joint. All right, cool. Check it. When you get to the theater, go pee real quick. Pee fast, then get in the theater, because you ain't gonna want to get up. Because there's no moment that this movie lets up, which is something I love. And the good thing about us having 10 years, if you check the video I did earlier this morning, put it out. If you look at the 10 years, the good thing is that we have so much history. We don't have to set the stage as much anymore. We don't have to create a situation where we have to tell someone's story and, provide context, because we already know. We know these people. So now we can just kind of slide into this story that they're involved in. And that's what I love. I love the fact that we got these 10 years, so we don't have to go back. We don't have to see, Uncle Ben die again, or we don't have to see the Wayne shot again. Like, we can just go right into the story, and this movie goes right in. That's all I'll say, is that this movie gets started. So be ready, be sitting down, and just be ready to be oohed, odd, and be ready to cheer, scream, all that stuff, because it's gonna happen. And you're gonna enjoy it. So with leaving the action scenes, I'll say that the choreography seems to have stepped up, and it does seem like they let the fight scene breathe more. And what I mean by breathing more is they don't chop it so much, and they still chop it because you have to. You got stuntmen and stuff. You don't want Chris Evans get hit in the head for real. You don't want Scarlett Johansson get poked in the eye or something. So you got to use. But it seems like they kind of like pull the camera back a little bit and let you see a little bit more of the action, which is something that I think is great and works well. Of course, for an action, essentially an action film. I want to talk about the relationships, but vaguely, because this could tiptoe around something that's a spoiler, and I don't want to do that for you guys. Everybody's relationships, I'll just say this, everyone's relationships matter, and everyone's relationships have consequences. I think that's and that's some of what makes you wonder, like, whoa, this is a Marvel film? It's like, wow, okay. I'm not going to speak on post-credit scenes. I can't, because I don't want to. Some people say it's a spoiler if you tell them if there's like 18 credit screens, or if there's 2, or there's 8 or 5 or whatever. So I don't want to, I don't want to give that away because I don't want people to fire off on me. So I did the directing, I did the writing, the action, which is top notch, and I talked about, of course, the relationships, which I think they have. And I think what helps them have so much weight to them is that we spent 10 years with these people. Maybe the Guardians, we've spent, I don't know when the first Guardians came out, I don't know, 2015, whatever that was. When it came out, we've known these characters for years and years, and now we've gotten to know them and gotten to love them or gotten to hate them. So, their relationships matter more to them, and they matter more to us. So it affects us more. I saw people coming out of the theater crying. So it's, those relationships matter. And it's just played so well to a point, like I said, you're going to wonder, is this a Marvel movie? Because they did this, and I'm used to feeling kind of happy, and they're not making me happy like I feel they should be making me happy. So on to the effects. I want to talk about the effects department. So many people like, Industrial, ILM, Stereo D, all those people. And there's tons of people that work hard, hours and hours staring at computer screens to make sure that we can have fun in the theater. So I would like to talk about the effects for a second. The effects are on point, man. They're so fresh. There's so many cool things that happen, and the way they happen, of course, through special effects, is cool. So it's not like, oh, this person has a thing. It's like the way they get the thing is cool. And I just, man, it's so vivid. It's so eye-catching. It just looks so, like, even Thanos, and I can say this because it's in the trailer, Thanos' people, or his children, I guess, his peoples that he rolls with, they look so good in the movie. In the trailer, they look much better than they do in the trailer. Probably just wasn't ready yet. But in the movie, they look so real and so tangible. Kudos, man. The effects, because all of those aliens look just top notch. The makeup is on point. The effects are on point, and they look so real. Like, they look like you can touch them, even though this is like probably a fake dude in a green screen and a bodysuit on. But it looks amazing, and just the texture, the mapping, all of that, it really matters, yo. And it really comes through, and it's just that icing on the cake, because the direction is already there, the writing is already there. So now just the visuals are just so eye-catching, from whether you're on Earth or you're in space. Everything just comes together well, and wow, this movie, wow. I do want to talk about your boy Thanos. Real quick, making it hot up in here, because Thanos, sweet Lord, Lord Thanos, your boy is the real. Your boy is the real deal. Thanos is probably, besides Eric Killmonger and a little bit of Hela, Marvel can step back and be like, we don't have a villain problem no more. You know what I'm saying? Thanos is that dude. Thanos is another one that's relatable. Thanos is another one that you get to a certain degree. And Thanos is someone who's dangerous. Real dangerous. Thanos is someone who is committed. All right, see you guys. Jay or Daryl, both of you guys, take it easy. Thanos is serious. He's committed. He is no joke. He plays no games, and he is a freight train. I'll say that. I think that's the most general way I can deal with that is he is a freight train, and he's coming. And it's one of those things like back in the day. Okay, here's a good example. Remember, if you like basketball, remember back in the day where Shaq would be in his prime Shaq. I'm talking about Orlando Magic Shaq, where he'd be coming to dunk and people just get out of the way. Perfect example. Or football fans, way back, Refrigerator Perry. Remember how big he was when he was breaking through? Quarterbacks would just get out of the way. Perfect example. If he's coming, run. Don't ask no questions. Don't try. Don't hide. Run, because he ain't playing. He is not playing in this movie, and he is a force to be reckoned with. And I will say what you've seen in the trailers, what you've seen in the featurettes, whether you've watched them or you only watched one trailer or you watched everything you could see, you have no idea. He is layered. He is serious. He is a true threat. And that makes this movie so impressive because the villain adds so much weight to what the heroes have to overcome or withstand or be victorious with or victorious through, I guess, whatever. And it's well done, man. He is so well written, and I'm so happy Thanos was not whack, because that was my one worry, man. I was like, you know what? They've had some villain. I just didn't want Thanos to turn out to be Malekith. You know what I'm saying? That was what I was worried about. I really did not want him to be Malekith, and he is far from. He is far from that. He is just John Blazini, and you'll really enjoy it. As far as the heroes, we get. Trying to think how I should say this. That might be spoilery. Well, okay, you can. In the trailer, you see this. The teams, the differences of opinion, the differences of point of views and how to attack and how to accomplish goals. It's funny, it's interesting, and it seems real. It seems honest, and I like that about the pairing of the heroes, how they pair them off, how they put them together, the things that they have to attain, and the things that they have to overcome, whether within or without. I think those are done just well. I think they're done in an amazing way. And the directing is on point, like I said. The writing is on point, like I said. The action is right there. You got the visual effects. The villain does not suck. And the heroes are on point. And not only they're on point as far as like with the writing, what they're saying, or how they're acting, or their interpersonal relationships, but the action is on point. And also, of course, we know through the MCU that Thor hasn't been around and Hulk hasn't been around because they had Ragnarok, so they were gone, they were out of here, and then Civil War happened. So, of course, when they come back, just seeing them adjusting to the new dynamic is cool. And I think I'm gonna leave it alone right there. I think that's all I can say or need to say. So I think I'll leave that alone there. Yeah, that's about it. So with all that together, everything said, this is a 5-star film. If you go by tens, this is a 10 on 10 on 10 for y'all. Y'all don't even understand what's going on in this movie. I cannot wait for you guys to see it because I cannot wait to see it again. I'm mad. You know what I'm mad about? You know what makes me mad about this movie is that the Infinity War 2, or would they haven't named it Infinity War Part 2 or Part 2, whatever they want to call it. That movie don't come out for like another year or something. Y'all gonna make us wait all that time. You know good and well y'all done did this good movie and now we gotta wait. Well, I don't want to see no Ant-Man. Now, no diss to Ant-Man. I got love for Ant-Man, but I'm not trying to see you right now. All right, bro. I've seen some things, all right? And I'm not trying to see Ant-Man right now. I'm not trying to see Captain Marvel right now. You're killing me. Yeah, Max, it's definitely 5 stars, man. 5-star film. Really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's fun and funny with weight. You're gonna, get a full bucket of popcorn, get a big soda. I would say for a movie like this, and I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude to try to send y'all to some whack stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all if it's 2 stars, it's 2. If it's 1, it's 1. I don't think I've done a 1-star film this year. I think I did last year, but look, you're gonna want to see this in IMAX or like AMC Prime or maybe Cinemark XD. I don't know what's in your area, but you're gonna want to see this on the biggest screen possible. If you're like me, you need to sit perfect center, all right? Perfect center it up. Get your perfect audio quality in the middle. That's where you're gonna need, because I'm telling you, you need the full scope. All right, all in your eyeballs and your ears. You need the full scope on this. You can't be don't be sitting on the side. Don't come to the theater late, or don't be scrambling and get that one, oh, well, I just need to see it. I'm gonna sit down in the corner. Trust me, you don't want to see this in the corner. Don't do this to yourself. Get that ticket now. There's gonna be, of course, they're gonna open more theaters. Get that ticket now, because you don't want to be left. All right, don't get left. Don't be down in the corner trying to peek and looking like a trapezoid of a screen. You don't want that. You want to be in the center. And some plush, nice seats. Your bucket of popcorn to your left, your soda to your right, prepared to see it perfect in the middle. So you can see Thor, you can see Spider-Man, you can see Thanos, the Hulk, and all them people. You can see everybody do their thing, all right? That's what you need. That's what you want right now, in the middle. So I'm letting y'all know, me to you, his movie is John Blazini. So for a second, I see there's 6 of y'all. Thank you guys for rolling through. So happy to have y'all here. I'll answer some questions if they're vague, if it's just about like movie quality stuff. I'm not going to answer. I'll look. If it's like a spoiler type of answer, I won't even address it because I don't want to ruin it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'll wait for a second. See how Thanos made it in here, man. Thanos got me burning up, man. Beating people up, slamming folks, and you saw the trailer, punching Iron Man till his death. You know what I'm saying? Got to get a swig of the canteen. But straight up, check it. If you have any questions about the flick that are, I guess, quality questions or general questions, I'll answer them for the next couple minutes, because I'm not going to ruin it for anyone. That's the easy one. Stan Lee, he's in all Marvel films, so that's not brand new. Of course, he's in this one, so that's not a spoiler really. He's in every one. He's, whether it's Universal or Fox or whatever, he always in there. So that's cool. So yeah, you'll see Stan the man. He'll be in there holding it down. But man, this movie, whoo-wee, man, I love this movie. Marvel, like I said, I'll go back to the top of the show. Marvel is flexing on y'all right now. Really, if you're trying to get and this, I'm gonna say this to Sony real quick. Sony has bought the rights to do films from the Valiant comics, which is like Shadow Man, Quantum and Woody, man, I'm blanking now. 4000 AD, Bloodshot, all those characters, the Harbinger Wars, stuff like that, Bloodshot Wars, Exo Man of War. Sony, look, I know, look, let me wipe the sweat at real quick. Sony, let me talk to you. Because Warner Brothers, they don't listen to me. Even though Warner Brothers did hit my childish side with the Justice League, but Sony, let me talk to you real quick. I'm gonna give some of this time to you, Sony, because you deserve it. You know what, Sony, you deserve it because your Venom trailer was better than I thought it would be. So you deserve this. I'm gonna give you a little piece. Study Marvel. Get one person that knows and loves the property. They don't have to be the biggest geek, but just has the passion for that property. Someone who knows Valiant, someone who cares about Valiant, and someone who's interested in writing a roadmap for Valiant. Okay, all right. So that'll be your guy, just like Kevin Feige. All right. Then let him or her do what they need to do to bring the movie to fruition. Don't, because in this case, this person, this man or woman, will already be an executive at your offices. Don't stand in his or her way. Give them the room to breathe, unless they're putting, like, I don't know, pink unicorns on the screen, fighting against Care Bears or something like that. Let them shepherd this new, Valiant universe to the screen and let it be great. Because Valiant comics are real dope. They've got some, especially 4001 AD, really dope stuff. You've got an opportunity. People don't really know about Valiant, so you can do a situation where you can open up the eyes to people, and you've seen what Marvel's done. Study them, lock it down, and make Valiant dope. Because don't you mess up Shadow Man. Don't you mess up Rye. Do not mess up Rye. He's a sweet cyborg that's a samurai and got cool karate. All right, don't mess that up. I'm just saying. Now back to Marvel. Marvel's strutting its stuff. It's killing it. Impressed from the beginning to the end. This movie is worth seeing. So guys, it doesn't look like there's any more questions, so it's great. I'm so glad you came through. Spoiler free. I will do a spoiler review and drop that on Thursday night or maybe like Friday morning after you guys are able to see it, and then we can actually talk about the movie. And then of course down here, if you're watching this movie later, do not throw spoilers in these comments. If you've already seen the movie, do not throw spoilers in these comments, please, because people need to enjoy the film. Is the film good enough? Is the movie good enough for an Oscar nomination? I'll say the technical stuff, yeah. It's kind of like Star Wars. It'll always get the technical consideration. So sound mixing, special effects, editing, stuff like that. For acting, man, look, here's how I feel as someone who loves action films, blockbusters, stuff like that. Look, the Oscars are never going to recognize like a big budget film unless it's a big budget film that's also kind of like a think piece, or also kind of like a biography or something like that, or based on a true story, something like that. That's just their thing. And I'm not even mad at it. That's their thing. That's how they like to get down. Oscars are for movies that either are trying to make you cry, are trying to teach you a lesson, or are telling someone's life story. You can always do something that's something based on a certain point in history. But yeah, it's this movie. I wouldn't say that this is going to get an Oscar, even though I would say that the directors could get an Oscar consideration, but I don't think they'll win because it's still super early in the year, and that's going to go to someone like Spielberg or Christopher Nolan for doing something where they shoot everything in one room, and you know how these things go, man. So it's their thing, it's their party, and I don't try to crash it. I let them have their movies. I watch them. I think they're dope. I just, they're kind of like home joints. Catch it on Netflix, and when you go to the big screen, it's not really their forte. But of course, with the diversity council that's at the Oscars now, supposedly, they're bringing in younger people and also people that are black and brown. So that might start to shake up what's nominated. That might start to shake things up. We saw what happened to Get Out. Even though Get Out probably should have swept all its categories, but we're not gonna get that. It's a whole other thing. But the technical categories, and I think the directors could get a nod. I don't think they will, but I think a lot of times the Oscars, this is getting to an Oscars thing. A lot of times the Oscars overlook big budget blockbuster films because they think that they're just big, loud, and dumb, but they don't realize the amount of work, the amount of discipline, and the amount of time and stress that goes into making something like Star Wars or Avengers, or I don't know, like one of my favorites from back in the day, Terminator 2. Anything that any of those like huge sci-fi epics. I don't think they really realize how much goes into it. I think if every Oscars voter was on set every single day for Avengers Infinity War, they'd be like, wow, I usually look down on these movies, but there's a lot more in this than I thought. And not saying that it's either more or less valuable than a movie like The Post, but I think that they don't realize how much goes into it. I think they just think, oh yeah, you just blow up things in your fight. And it's like, no, there's a lot that goes on. You have to make sure the explosions go down like this. You have to be safe with it. With the fight scenes, the choreography comes in. You got to learn how to do Krav Maga or whatever jujitsu or whatever. You got to actually learn that on set and then repeat it, because it's, the fight scene is like a dance. So you have to like learn how to do this on set. And then, all of like planning and staging things out for special effects to happen and throughout. There's a lot that goes into big budget films that I think the Academy doesn't recognize for whatever reason, for one reason or another. But this one, technicals definitely, and I would say the directors should get a nod, but it depends on how many entries they have and if they're gonna be nice to Marvel. But I don't think it's a comic book movie, man. I don't think it's distinguished enough for the Oscars. I'll say that. I think distinguished is, yeah, I think that's the word. So not that I don't think it, this movie is dope. Especially you got Black Panther, that joint, and then this, man, it's like Marvel ruled this year, son. They're crushing it. And Disney look, Disney getting all that money. We need to slow Disney down. Or maybe we should speed Disney up. And maybe they'll just make everything sweet. But anyway, guys, I'm out. This movie is dope. 5 stars. You should go see it. Like I said, 10 on 10 on 10. But of course, from me to you, thank you for checking me out. Everyone in the chat, big shout out. And of course, go see this movie as big and as loud as you possibly can, because it is definitely worth it. That means IMAX, AMC Prime, whatever. So, of course, before I bounce, I'm going to tell you guys to definitely check out CuroBrand.com. Check out He Has Provided on Etsy. Check out ThatNERDSoul.com. Buy yourself a t-shirt at shop.thatnerdsoul.com. Check out, big shout out to Black Tribbles, Fan Bros, Thought Crimes, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just shout out to all y'all. Been hanging with y'all all weekend. So, of course, we out. And until next time, peace. Ha!